Hello, hello. There are people here already. Sheldon changed his name. we got Chris and Sheldon already here. They're already having a chat. You guys started talking without me. Uh, yeah, the East Coasters. The East Coasters are here. Oh, Sheldon's making a French cleat system. Nice. You got one wall, like a whole wall of French cleats? That's cool. Like for hanging all your tools and stuff? A power wall and a hand tool wall. Nice. Nice. Beckham's here too. What up? How's everybody doing? That's a good plan, Sheldon. I like that. Yeah, you don't need. Yeah, I'll just. You know what? I'll just set up the room, and you guys can talk. And next week, I won't even. I won't even turn it on. I'll just let you guys have a chat. Oh, how's everybody doing on this beautiful Saturday? It's starting to get a little bit nippy. It's starting to turn into actual fall here. I had to turn the heater on for the first time last night, 2 nights ago, when I was out here working. Sheldon, you also got your CNC machine, the cheap one off Amazon? Or was that a laser engrave? No, what? I don't remember exactly the conversation. Yes, the cheap Amazon CNC machine. Okay, when you get that set up, man, I want to hear about it because I could convince myself to do a little mini sort of benchtop one. I don't have room for a standalone, but if I could pull it out and put it away, I could do little engravings and things, but I'd have to learn. That sounds like a learning curve. Yeah, nice. A few more weeks. Okay, I can wait. I got stuff to do anyway. That's why I'm late. I'm working on another record crate commission. Beckham bought his first hand plane. What'd you get, Beckham? Like a Craigslist find, or do you go all out and buy a new like Veritas or Lee Nielsen or something? I'm living vicariously through other people right now. And then once we stop the chit chat, I will. Looks like the small one behind my left shoulder. That little guy? This little guy? Yeah, nice. I use this one for doing like edge banding, trimming, and stuff. All right. So today's mission, should we choose to accept it, we could just sit here and talk all night if you guys want, because that is the biggest, heaviest piece of thing that I've ever had in front of me on a lathe. That piece of elm. Elm got 12 votes last week, and it was never going to be overtaken. So poor bird's eye alder. That's 3 weeks in a row that the bird's eye alder has been in the running, and nobody picked it. Well, some people picked it. I bought it to shave some sticky drawer faces. Okay, cool. Yeah, planes are good. Planes are great. So elm. No idea. This is the 4th week in a row. I think maybe 5th week in a row that I'm turning something that I've never turned before in terms of the wood species. And this one is a solid 10 and a bit inches across and 3 inches deep. And it's heavy and it's scary. But we'll see if we can't turn it into a bowl. I'm going to do a nice, simple, general shaped bowl. I'm not doing fancy contours and things on it. Because I don't know if I got my phone charged to about 80% before I started. So hopefully I have enough juice to get all the way through the tonight's show. But also, I just kind of want to do something simple tonight. I think Sheldon likes the hard edge look, so maybe like a flat bottom instead of a curvy. Isn't alder a nuisance tree? They're the ones that grow in abandoned fields. I don't know. We have a ton of alder around here on the West Coast. I wouldn't call it a nuisance tree. I think it's an important part of the ecosystem. The one from a few weeks ago, I think you're talking about the myrtle one that was kind of like a tray, just straight down and straight across. we'll see. I'll start making some cuts on the elm, and I like letting the first few cuts kind of direct traffic in terms of what I'm going to make it into. So we'll do a couple of cuts and we'll see what it starts looking like and see if we like it. And Pinnell remembers the myrtle. All right, let's head over. Is this going to be the week that I that I either hurt myself or screw something up? No, it's not. It's not. Let's go release the shape. That's what we'll do. So here's a piece of myrtle. It's bigger than my head. Well, maybe not with the beard, but it's not myrtle either. It's elm. We'll get you guys set up here. Oh, get one of these off so that you can get a contour shot for the first bit. Got that relatively centered even. And we'll see what the contour ends up looking like. Don't keep the Lee Valley Band-Aids too far out of shape. I got the Lee Valley Band-Aids are in the cabinet right there beside me. Okay. What do I need first? I need pole gouge first. I need to make sure this is on there good. And I need a face mask. And let's see. I need a tool rest. Let's go. Good. A couple of big rips there. Some weak chunks of grain in the middle. That doesn't bode well. But we'll keep going. See, I might not be all that terribly sharp. I might do a little touch up. We'll see if that's the problem. Yeah, you can tell this is heavy because of how long it takes to spin down when I turn it off. The momentum just keeps it going. Those, I think, are actually just like faults in the wood. So I'm going to have to carve through those. That kind of sucks. Because that's going to take some of my width. But we'll just start sloping in. And we'll see what it ends up becoming. It's kind of cool grain. We'll find out. Okay, I'm through those faults or rips or whatever they were. Let's, I don't know. I'm gonna make a few more cuts to see what it turns into on the outside. This is kind of interesting development. A little double cove. What do you got? Angle halfway, square the rest. Yeah, this is, I'm kind of liking the little double cove idea here. Let's follow this and see where it takes us. Okay, I am not hating this, which, as I've said before, is the goal of this channel. What do we think? Sheldon likes it. I think it's interesting, and I don't hate it, which is generally where I like to come down. So, yeah, that's That's okay. I like that. Let's flatten off the bottom. And we'll see. I guess it's not a I lied to you guys about being just a simple bowl shape tonight, but I do kind of like that. So we'll flatten off the bottom and stick a recess in it and get sanding. Pinnell, you like it? Beckham? Anybody? Anybody other than Sheldon like what's happening right here? Huh. It reminds me a little bit of the chestnut. Remember the chestnut from a couple of weeks ago? Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Without such like wonkiness happening in it. I get that. Get that flat. Let's get to hollow it out a little bit just to make sure. It's taking a long time to spin down. This thing is heavy. Okay, that is that, I think. It's good enough to get sanding on it. Double Cove elm bowl tonight. Interesting development. All right, let's, what should we start at? Those look like pretty clean cuts. We'll start at 150. I did release the shape. That's what happened. I made some cuts and it told me what it wanted to become. This is the loud part. Fingers on the mute button. I have to say this shape is not easy to sand. Was not my best decision in terms of ease of sanding. I maybe should have started down at 82 because I do have some lines showing up. But we're here now. Did I have my shop vac off that whole time? Was I ever collecting dust during that process? $240. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. Let's put a dent in the bottom of it and we'll flip it around. No, then we'll oil it. Then we'll sit down. Oh, you know what? I did not get all the way. All right, quickly. We'll take care of that. I got to redo the bottom. That's got it. Quick run through. We'll just start at 180 now. No, start at 240. Because it's the bottom.
Turn it back on again.
I want to do something else to the bottom here too. Put some little ridges or something in it. Big flat area. I don't like it. Yeah, that might be all it needed. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to overdo it, so we're just going to go with that. All right, let's oil it. And we'll take a break, have a beverage, flip it around. Hopefully not run out of power on my phone. This is cool. This is it does remind me a lot of the piece of chestnut from a couple of weeks ago. Or was that last week? I don't remember. It's all blended together. It's pretty nice. It's a little quiet in terms of related to some of the things that I've made here in these shows, but nothing wrong with some quiet grain once in a while. I picked the orientation that would leave me little strips of sapwood on the outside because they were on both sides, but I almost went through that one. But that's where we're at right now. And we'll sit down and have a little break. It's interesting. I don't hate it. That's the goal, right? Remember? Apparently some people do hate it. They're leaving. It's only a few of you left. Oh, Tony Lopez is here. Yeah, no, I definitely there was a section there where I did not have the shop vac on. That's for sure. Do, do, do. Yeah, Tony Lopez is here. Right on. I'm not making your bowl, Tony. I'm. You'll win one. I'm sure you will. Over on Patreon, I'm sure you'll win one eventually. Maybe I'll set it up. My next Patreon one, I'll let the winner pick. How does elm smell? Not very much. It's yeah, very subtle. It's not rich like the chestnut was significantly richer smelling. But I've also been cutting wood for a couple of days, working on commissions and things, and I'm not great at lung protection, as we all know, so I'm a little bit stuffed up, and so I don't know. How did the oil take to it? It absorbed pretty well. It's a semi-open, I would call it a semi-open poured, if that's a thing. It has, they're not big wide open pores like an oak, but they're not that far off from that. I would say it kind of reminds me a little bit of like ash in terms of the pore structure. Chris Pinnell, I turned some camphor wood today. It smells like cinnamon. I don't even know what camphor wood is. Is that an East Coast wood? Because I've never heard of that. Maybe I'll look for it the next time I'm at the wood shop. Okay, we're doing pretty good. How are we doing for time? 38 minutes. We're done the outside. That's about typical for these shows. Generally about 1/3, 2/3 inside, outside, inside kind of a thing. I don't know about the double cove thing. Liked your sander vid earlier too. Yes, I was giving props to my sander today because I realized that I hadn't done a what's my favorite tool right now video for a while. And I was looking around the shop trying to think of what's been doing good work for me and realized that I've never talked about that sander, and that sander is one of the most important tools in my shop. Like it gets, in terms of hours of work, that sander has it everything else beat. I'm pretty sure. Maybe the table saw. Japanese camphor, cinnamon camphora. You're just making stuff up now. Yeah, I should use my mask. Oh, that I use daily? Yeah, that's actually not a terrible idea. Just go get it from the truck. Sheldon likes my tool tips. That's awesome, because I'm never sure how these things go over, whether people like the stuff or not. I saw you comment on the spicy teriyaki pork chops too. Not too many people enjoyed that one, I don't think, but screw them. I'm gonna do another cooking video at some point because that was fun. I also realized that I haven't really, other than these live shows, I haven't really been doing too many turning videos. So I made a batch of French rolling pins over the last couple of days and filmed the making of those. So that's going to be an upcoming video on the channel. I actually bought it in Portland, Oregon. The camphor. Cool. Maybe I can find some out here then. Pen blank. What did you just say? Pen blanks were $4 for $1? That's awesome. I mean, I just basically use scrap leftover wood from other projects to make my pens, but $4 for $1, I would be loading up a suitcase too, man. Okay, let's flip it around. We'll dig out a bunch of the inside of this and see if we can avoid going through those coves. Because, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to be listening for the thinness, I think, on this one, because I don't. There's the Scoopies. Let's have a yeah, that thing that I just said. Stabilize you guys a little bit. Okay. Towel. Remember the towel. Don't need that anymore. Don't need the screws anymore. Oh, did it the right way even. Spinning true even. Oh, it's almost like I'm getting better at this. It's weird how that happens when you do something a bunch of times. All right. So goes, what is it? It goes in and then in again. So in and then in. Let's just start hogging out the middle. Don't worry about the edges when we get there. All right. This is going to take at least 2 breaks. I'm sure it is. Definitely some soft areas in it. Like as I'm cutting through, it jumps through some softish areas, which is interesting. Face grin cuts really nice though. Somebody remind me what I did last week. Was it chestnut? Was the chestnut last week? Because this reminds me of what was happening last week in terms of ease of cut in the face grain. Anybody else feel me getting impatient? Where we're at. Before we go too much in, we should figure out where we can go to. And let's get some paint. Need 2 3/8, give or take, deep on this one. Yeah, pretty close. I don't want to go all the way to 2.5 because that's flirting. About 2 3/8. I might stop a little before that. And where are we at right now? We're already at 1.5. I'm carving stuff out of here. Am I gonna hit you guys? I'm gonna hit you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna go to 2 inches deep and we're gonna take a little break. This gold thing goes all the way through to the outside. Couple more cuts and we'll be past 2 inches. That's going to be good for now, I think. I'm pressing a little hard. And I am, yeah, I blew right past my 2 inch mark there. I only have about another 1/4 inch until my goal. So let's have a sit. Otherwise I'll just pound right through it. It's interesting. It's interesting, and I'm having fun. So that's all that matters. You guys having fun? Anybody else having fun other than me? How come I got no like button, people? What's going on? That's great, because I'm supposed to ask or something, because that's what YouTubers are supposed to do, right? They're supposed to be like, make sure you like and subscribe and stuff. There's the one. There it is. See, I knew it. I just had to ask. I am terrible at like YouTubing in terms of like begging people to like my stuff and share it and subscribe and things. It doesn't come natural to me. Let's scroll back and see. Sweet Chestnut was last week. Okay, good. Because it cuts a lot like that. Inside match the outside. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure that I can actually do that, because it'd be like, what's the opposite of a cove? A bead. It's like it'll do one of those, and I'm not sure that really works for the inside of a bull. Drake Leroy's here. What's the bull material? This is elm. We're doing elm this week. The inside might be harder with the double cove. Yes, that's a good point, Sheldon. That's a good. I'm not sure that I'm up for it. Have I tried a chip deflector? No, I have not. I thought about getting the little plexiglass chip deflector thing for my carbide ones that slips over it, but I haven't managed to do that yet. It's not that big. When they start hitting the side of my hand, if I've got my hand on top of the tool and it gets a little warm, but it's not like, it doesn't hurt. It's not dangerous, I don't think. Oh, elm. Big, heavy elm chunk. Don't buy plexiglass now, COVID premium. Is it? Even the little ones that clip onto the top of the tools? Tony Lopez is currently working on an outdoor raised planter as a commission, using cedar fencing as the material of choice. Any tips on paint or stain? Cedar, outdoor planter. See, these are 3 things that contradict what I want to say about any individual one of them, because I don't know that I would stain anything I was going to plant in, especially if it's food. Is it a food planter? Like, is it growing vegetables? Because I probably wouldn't do anything to it if it was growing food. I might just let it go and do what it's going to do. Succulents. In case you're not going to eat succulents. So something that isn't going to be toxic to plants. Honestly, I don't. Maybe like a deck sealer or something might be okay. Something with a little bit of tint in it. I still wouldn't stain. I don't really like stain that much, so I probably still wouldn't stain it. I might do like a tinted deck sealer or something, like a Thompson's thing. Maybe, because I'm of the opinion that outdoor things are just going to get annihilated over time. So I don't like heavy polyurethanes and lacquers and spar varnishes and stuff like that, because you just end up having to rip it all off and redoing it. And I would just, if I'm gonna do stuff that lives outside these days, if I'm gonna finish it at all, it's probably just gonna be an oil that I can recoat once a year, instead of having to strip it off like a heavy top coat of something. Varnish. Drake Leroy says varnish. I don't hate the idea of, but I use spar varnish on my outdoor fire pit benches, and I lathered that stuff on like thick. and within 2 months, it was peeling up off the cedar. Cedar especially does not like a film finish. It doesn't like holding on to it, from what I found. I don't know. Maybe it was still a little bit wet and it didn't seep in as deep as you'd hope, but it's the finish got annihilated in literally like 3 months. It started peeling away. Okay, let's go back to the bowl. I only had about a 1/4 inch left before we can start thinning out the sides. We're at 57 minutes. All right, let's get her done. Let us get this taken care of. The problem, I don't think I can get my banjo under that bowl, so I'm going to have to stay on the outside of it. It's a little awkward. Let's confirm where I was at. I'm about 2 1/4. It's a little bit less than 2 1/4. I think I go about another 1/4 inch, and I'm as deep as I want to be. That might only be 2 more cuts the way I'm cutting this stuff. Yep, that's it. All right, now to decide. Are we going to try and mimic? Or are we just going to round it off, flatten it out? Let's start by thinning them and see. I don't know what to do here, guys. Do you think I should try to follow along, or should I just round it off? And then it'll be like thick in places and thin in places because of the coves on the outside. I honestly don't know. Follow it. Okay. Let's see. I got a bit to play with, so. Except I can't get my tool rest close enough to my bowl. Maybe I can. Because the damn banjo won't go underneath. Because the bowl's too big. Because you guys picked the big one this week. That's not great. That's better. In and then in. Oh, oh, that is. It's working. Kind of. It does go and then go like the outside. I'm a little thick there probably. Well, it's coming. It is doing the wavy wave down into the bowl. I'm gonna flatten off the bottom, and then I think I might just sand, because that is kind of a pretty cool little contour profile dealy. I'm a little thin there. I'm a little worried. All right, let's flatten off the bottom. Clean up that last little corner. And then, yeah, it's a little thick, but it does mimic, the inside mimics the outside. So that's what we were going for, right? You know what? No. I'm going to get a little greedier this week. Sanding. Sanding. That's pretty cool. That's not too bad. You guys see what's going on here? We got our little mimicking contours. They're not exactly following, but they mimic the outside curves. So there we go. Oh, this is gonna be super hard to sand too. Yeah, this will actually go all the way in. This is the first time I'm actually going to be able to, it's big enough that I can use my random orbit sander on the inside of this bowl. Let's go all the way down to 80 and we'll get this thing shaped up proper. Sounds like neighbors having a party. That's it. That's got her. Little bit of tear out right at the inside turn. But we aim for adequacy here at Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff. And this, I think, is above what I would consider adequate. This is post-adequate. Come on in. Let's watch it light up. Where's my... guess I need a new one. All right, is it going to be cool? Just about time for a new bottle of Howard's. Well, let's see. It's not disgusting. It's all right. Yep. Yeah, not too bad. Let's go have another sit. We'll let that sink in for a bit. We'll squish one more coat down into the pores. And we'll call her done. All right. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be... This is another one of those ones where I'm probably not going to look for elm specifically again. Like in terms of like, I really, really like that. I'm going to go get some more. But if it's on the shelf and it's the right price, I might grab another piece of that. So much for the simple shape. Yeah, well, sometimes things go in different directions. Is Yorkshire abrasive paste any good? I've seen a lot of turners use it, so I would guess, and they're better than me. So I would go with yes, but I have no first-hand experience. Have you ever considered using a scraping card instead of sandpaper? No, I wouldn't trust myself with a card scraper inside a bowl. I don't think that would go well. If I was, I'm thinking about getting a traditional scraper as opposed to the carbide ones. I'm thinking about getting a round-tipped traditional high-speed steel scraper as one of my next tools, but I wouldn't go reaching into a bowl with a card scraper. I'll take one in bird's eye. Yeah. Okay. Oh, make the same one again in cherry and ship it to you. People are making requests now. That bowl, probably your best one yet, you think? I think it's certainly the most dynamic shape of the ones that I've done live on the show, I think. The best one yet is, I don't know, that Myrtle was pretty sick looking. But it was basically just a kind of a simple tray. So yeah, I mean, maybe. I think there's a fair argument to be made for that being my best one yet in terms of the live show. Oh, we're back to the outdoor furniture discussion. And then there's people requesting their own favorite wood in that shape of bowl. That's some of the EWT users seem to like abrasive paste wax. I don't know what EWT is, but I know Mike Walt uses Yorkshire grit. Pretty sure Carl Jacobson uses Yorkshire grit. So yeah, I mean, when guys like that are using it, you know that it's going to be good. Yeah, I think that there is. Yeah, you're probably right. That probably is the most skill intensive bowl that I've done live on the show, and I didn't muck it up. But again, you know, I didn't risk too much. I didn't go super thin on it. EWT is the square shank carbide tools. Oh, Easy Wood Tools. Okay, yeah. Hey, we got a new name. Riobj. Watching from Alabama. Hey, thanks, Riobj. It's an interesting name. I appreciate you coming along. I'm having fun. I'm having fun doing it. So, coming up, Rio BJ. Okay. What was I going to say? Okay, so I've got the shaper or the sharpening station carcass build coming up. The rolling pins, French style rolling pins video is coming up. I got a couple of unboxing videos to do over the next little while. I'm getting back to the point where I'm going to be producing not live content because I finally have some things to show people. But I've also been doing commissions of stuff that I've already done videos for, which I have not been recording to put up again. Like, I'm not going to show you again how I make a record crate because that would be stupid. But the rolling pins, the sharpening cabinet, carcass, at least. I haven't put doors and drawers in it yet, but and then yeah, there's some stuff coming in, and then I got to make a ton of pens because the gallery that I show at here in town is clamoring for pens, and I got 60 kits ready to go. Well, I got to make blanks and stuff for them, but ton of pens. Got beard comb 2.0, you think? I don't know that I need to show the beard comb again. The beard comb was not, I wouldn't call it it's not in a top 10 list in terms of in terms of videos / projects that I've done. It was a good idea. It was a cool idea, but I don't, yeah. Of course, it was also early in my YouTube making things career, so maybe I would do it better this time. Let's push one more coat into the bowl, and then we'll call her done. That's an hour and a half. Apparently these shows are always going to be an hour and a half long. Because that's what they always seem to come out at. I appreciate the input on mimicking the coves on the outside, on the inside, because I think that does add a lot to this bowl. Where did it's over here. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. And I did manage to catch a little bit of that piece of sapwood. I knew I was going to get most of this side, but I was worried that I was going to end up cutting off that entire one. I just got just the tip of it, which adds a nice little... Right on. Let's take it off. Yeah, nice. I like it. Be good for like a centerpiece with some fruit in it or something. Good choice, people who picked elm and people who helped me decide on the shape. I'm proud of all of us. Because that I call a success. I don't know about you guys, but I call that a win. Yeah. I appreciate you guys helping me out on that. I even like the extra little ridges that I put along on the bottom because I think it did need something. Too big flat spot on the bottom. I don't think so. This is we're calling this a win. I appreciate everybody helping out. What do you guys, any other turners that are still in here? What do you guys sand to? Because I've only been going up to 340. And I'm wondering about the return on investment in terms of additional. You go to 400, Rio? Okay, that's not that much higher. I was hoping that people weren't going to say like, oh, dude, I always go to 1,000 or something, because I don't know that seems like it's worth it. Like these things come out pretty darn smooth at 340. So I could see going one more step up to 400. Maybe I'll try that next time. Pinnell, you still around, buddy? What do you sand to? Sheldon? Pinnell goes to 600 because I have it. Well, but would you go get more if you run out? Like, do you think that it adds that much to the piece if you go that high? Because I'm willing to change my perception on things. I go to 340 because that's what I've bought up to. But if it's worth buying more, okay. Chris says no, don't bother. So what would you go up to if you once you run out of 600 and you don't go buy more? What are you gonna go up to? Sheldon goes to 240. Oh, but he paints. Okay, you paint your turned things. That's cool. What's his name? Sean Graham did some bowls that he milk painted the outside, and I thought those looked really nice. Crafters do. Yeah. Well, this is a good one. I hate finishing. Yeah, see, that's why I go. I'm even doing my furniture projects and stuff with that Howard's Feed and Wax now. Like, well, not all the time, but my sharpening cabinet, Howard's Feed and Wax. Just buff it in and buff it off. It's fine. Ebonized bowls done with India ink. That sounds fun. I want to do that. I want to do the outside of a bowl with India ink and leave the inside natural. Thank you, Drake Leroy. That's a thing I'm going to try. Rio likes finishing. Let's all send our stuff over to Rio. Yeah, finishing. I like and don't like finishing. I don't like the nitpickiness of some finishing operations, but there's no phase of a project I like more than putting the first coat of finish on something and watching it just explode into what it's supposed to look like. Ebonized outside and homemade shellac that's food safe for the inside. That's the cool thing about the Howards, is that it's perfectly food safe. It's all food grade stuff. Chris just finished one with metal leaf and chemical patina. Ooh. Whoa, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants, with your metal leaf and chemical patina. I like making building and then I find somebody to hand it off to. Yeah, to finish. That'd be it'd be great to have a finisher. Could you imagine? Like, I'm done, your turn, and then it comes back finished. That'd be great. But then I would want to watch the first coat go on, because that is my favorite part of any project. Yeah, it does make the grain pop. There's especially like stuff that has funky grain going on, burls and like crotch feathers. That sounds weird, but like crotch figure, anything that has cool swirly grain or feathered grain or that has depth to the grain. You just slap some finish on that and just watch it explode. It's just, no. Dollarama metallic leaf. Pinnell is putting Dollarama metallic leaf on the outside of a bowl and then chemically patinaing it. That sounds cool. You should make YouTube videos. Have you ever thought about doing resin bowls or resin and broken wood? Yes. I have absolutely thought about doing that, but I don't want to say I'm not good enough, because I might be, but I'm not confident enough to risk that kind of financial investment in a blank. Because resin's expensive, and then all the time investment in getting the blank made and ready to put on the lathe, and then to be worried about, like, this blank is $200 worth of stuff plus took me 4 days to make. I'm not at a phase yet in my turning career that's a thing, probably. Liver of sulfur gel from Michael's to make the metallic leaf go funky. I'm telling you, man, you can make a YouTube video. That sounds cool. Or did you watch somebody else do this? Can you point me to somebody else who I can see do this? Because that'd be cool to see. Where'd you get that idea? You know what? That sounds. Who am I gonna say did that? It sounds like maybe a Carl Jacobson thing. Jacobson do that? He plays around with stuff. Or Pete Brown, maybe. I'm gonna get another beer. But I'm not hanging out for too much longer. I gotta go cook. Matt Esley did it on his bass. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Resin turns easy, but yeah, it's expensive. That's the thing, is I don't want to not be able to screw it. Like, the cool thing about these ones that I do on Saturday nights live is that I think this one might have been just over $20 or just under $20, but I try and keep my blanks between 10 and $20, because that way, like, if it all goes to, then it's not that big a deal, and I still had fun and I practiced and I learned something. But man, to put in hours and hours of work making a blank out of really expensive material, I wouldn't be able to put a piece of metal in it while it's spinning, because I'd be like, this thing is $400 worth of material and time. Maybe someday. I'm getting more and more confident every time I do one. So, yeah. You know what we should do? Rio bought the Laguna based on my video. Jeez, I hope you like it, because then I'd feel bad if you didn't like it. Did you buy the 1216, or did you buy a bigger one? Because I can't speak for anything other than 1216, but I think it's good value for the money. Got the 1216, and he loves it. Yes, we're starting a revolution. Everybody get a 1216. Oh, I think Pinnell's got a big Powermatic. Pinnell, don't you have a big Powermatic? Big floor standing deal? I was the only one who had a good video on it. Well, that's I might be one of the few, but I watched a video post buying mine that was pretty good. There was an unboxing setup video that was pretty good by like an actual tool company, or like guy who runs like a shop. Sheldon has a crappy 37-inch Mastercraft. I think we talked about that last week, and I didn't know that Mastercraft made a 37-inch lathe. Sheldon, stop spending money on CNCs and upgrade that lathe, my man. General Tools. Oh, Chris has General, but it's a big heavy-duty floor standing deal, right? Segmented blank from scraps is on the docket. I actually have. It's not scheduled, but it's in the work plan. I'm going to do one of the next videos that I'm going to do is a cleaning up shop scraps video, and talk about the different things that you can do with different size scraps of wood that you can't bring yourself to burn. And one of the things that I'm going to do with them is make some segments and see if I can't make a segmented bowl. I'd probably start with a little cereal bowl size one, but it's in the plan. Any other questions, comments, concerns, thoughts? Because I'm gonna wrap this up. This is cool. I really appreciate you guys helping me out with these shows, because sometimes I can't make decisions on my own, and I need people to help me out. And the fact that you guys show up for these, I don't know if I say often enough that I appreciate you guys coming along and watching these and interacting and stuff, because I wasn't sure how these were gonna fly when I started doing them, but at least a few of you show up regularly and get involved, and I really, really appreciate it. And Rio, you come on back next time, my man. You're always welcome. I've got large hose clamps to make a segmented bowl, but that's as far as I've got. Funny enough, that's as far as I've got as well. I bought some big hose clamps, and that's as far as I've gotten. Bird's eye next week? Okay, let's just do that. I do have two options that I put over here. One of them is the bird's eye alder. Let's just do the bird's eye next week. I don't know how much bird's eye there is in it, though, honestly. Like, it doesn't. The options were going to be the bird's eye or this block of cherry. So let's just say that it's the alder. And there's some speckling in it. Probably can't really see it. But let's make a little plate platter type thin dish next week out of the alder. See? Bird's eye alder, $18.95. So that's about where I like to keep my my investment in this hobby these days, is sub $20. But I did buy like a $30 flame maple. Yeah, we'll just see what it turns into. I can't see it turning into much other than a small platter or plate, though. It's not really that deep. I think it's like 2 1/8. Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you all for coming to watch the elm become this thing. It's pretty neat. and I very, very much appreciate it. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye for now. I'm going to go make... What should I do to the chicken? I took chicken out for the barbecue. Maybe Cajun. Cajun chicken. Yeah, that sounds good. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye for now. We'll see you next week.